Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Fortunately, this is not a ride video. This is video number 2. We're building a carport. And basically, I need to get this area right here. Basically, I got to turn this into a carport. So, as you can see, we got our stakes set out where our border is going to be. And now, basically, we need to start digging to make the border. So, I'm going to get my string line set out, and we're going to start digging. Well, we're about ready to take a lunch break. As you can see, got a good chunk done. Now I'm to the point where I got to put 2 levels in, which kind of sucks because it's more digging because my yard's too uneven, but we still got enough blocks so far. Slowly tearing apart this old garden bed. This is where I'm getting the blocks from. Yeah, they're a little chewed up, but I'm actually pretty impressed with how good those have done. Really impressed, because I put that in 12 years ago, and yeah, there's some, there's some stuff where the wood's chipping away a little bit and that, but honestly, since I'm just using them as a border, they got plenty of strength left. So of course they should be pretty good. I mean, my god, they came off of guardrails. But anyways, we're gonna go have lunch. We'll talk to you in a bit. Oh, you're probably wondering what's going on here. So this isn't a how-to video. I should have said that from the start. Oh, look at that. We're going to sip some water again. This isn't necessarily how-to. This is more of a what I'm doing kind of thing. So, but anyways, it's time for lunch. We'll talk to you in a bit. Well, we're calling it a day. I think we got a decent amount of work done today. Got at least the layer 2 part done to this. Yeah, I didn't get as far as, I did this morning. But I also had to remove all the blocks from here. So they're all gone now. God, I'm going to be doing landscaping all freaking summer. But we're making progress. We're definitely making progress, for sure. We'll see how it goes here. But yeah, we're getting there. We are definitely getting there for sure. But that's it for today anyway. Yes, I didn't record very much today, but had to get work done, so we didn't record a lot today. But essentially all you missed was a lot of digging and a lot of shoveling, and that's pretty much it. So anyways, that's it for today. Well, back to work again. Today we're going to start off, we're going to make our little border here, because those rocks need to go somewhere. So, and right now I've been putting them in a little rock pile back there that's getting a little big, so we're just going to do the edging right now, get that part done. That way I got a place to put these rocks. Then we'll finish up all this. don't think he's too keen on what I'm doing here. Messing up his whole area. But, well, we're making progress now. Got that edge and border all laid out. Everything laid out here. Now we just got to keep filling it in with rock. So now we take probably a little lunch break, and then get this little block finished off. Hopefully we'll get that finished off today, and maybe between me and Cal we can make a nice little dent on this rock bed. But I will keep you posted. Oh, so one thing I do want to add, why I'm not really like showing you the process, because, well, first of all, this was never a how-to. This was just showing what I'm doing. For the most part, because, you know, it's a lot of manual equipment. I mean, we're doing this with shovels. Hand shovels is how we're doing most of this. I mean, yes, we're using air nailers, and we're using impact drills, but for the most part, this is all by hand. Although, when we get to digging up the sod through that main part, I think we're going to go find a better tool. Stay tuned. Well, hello there. So, this would be normally the time where I'd have a new video come out. Well, unfortunately, we just honestly didn't get one done this week. My apologies there. I try to get you a video every single week, and I failed at this task. Mainly, you haven't seen, I mean, you've seen some of the videos so far, but working on this project, getting this little pad built so that way I can get my carport built. And time is kind of becoming of the essence, because I already had to turn them down once. They were going to be up in the area next week to construct it, and I'm not ready yet. So hopefully here in the next 2 weeks we're going to get ready. And that's honestly why there's no video. Because one thing about it, when I have a project I have to get done, and this is kind of always the way I am. If it's got to get done, I have to get it done. And one this big, it kind of just, it has a tendency to consume me a little bit. And this one has been no different than any other project that I've had. So it's, yes, it's an excuse and it's a poor one, but it is what it is. Sometimes things have to get done, and well, that's what happens here. So pretty much this has kind of consumed my kind of whole being for the last week or so. So, but we are making progress, and I'm gonna show you. All right, so as you can see, most of the sod is gone now. Just about have all of the border built. Just got to put on a little bit of plastic edging there, which we're going to do there. I went with plastic because it's cheaper, because those things are like 25 bucks for an 8-footer. So I didn't want to spend another, bunch of money on it. But yes, the rocks are all gone now. Like I said, got a few spots of sod that we didn't get taken care of with the sod cutter, but the pad's pretty much ready to go here. I just gotta kind of spread out those rock piles just a little bit more, and that's where the trailer is gonna go. So, boy, we are getting close. That's for sure. We are getting oh so close. So, bear with us. we're getting there. Trust me, we're getting there. It just, these projects sometimes take time, and they take a little bit of your time to get them done. So it'll be better when it's all said and done. But well, the sod is gone. Sod is all gone. Now we are ready for gravel. So that's nice. Didn't feel like we'd ever get here, but we did. We finally did. So now, and the other thing is, and dogs never shut up. Done before that stuff rolls in tonight. We got that done. Probably do gravel next week or the week after. We'll get a carport out here. But guess what? We're done. We're done. Gravel's in. all compacted. It's back in the pickup. Let me tell you, it's fun to load one of those in the pickup by yourself. Ask me how I know. But anyways, yes. Like I said, it ain't no by no means pro quality, but I figured considering it was done with hand tools and foot packed, and everything was kind of done just by eyeing it up, I think we did a fairly decent job. Plus, it is gravel. It'll settle over time. If it was concrete, I'd probably be a little more concerned. But there you go. It's ready for building. I'm gonna call the place in South Carolina today, because that's the place that I still bought the shed from, but they're the crew's from another place. Let them know, yep, we're done, we're ready to go. Building is ready whenever they get here, so hopefully we'll have a nice little home for that pickup. That's the goal anyway. But yeah, so some stats on it. Biggest thing is this is 34 tons of gravel. Well, it's actually 24 yards, approximately 34 tons. Half of that I shoveled and packed myself. The other half I shoveled and ran the little dump trailer, or that little dump wagon we have, and my wife spread and packed that other half. So like I said, hell of a project. I'm so glad this is done. This has been, this has kind of just been a rough getting this stupid thing done, but we got my part done now. Now I just awaiting someone else. So such is life, right?
The next day.
All right. So first of all, I just wanted to show you part of the reason why we're building this carport. Because yes, my pickup fits in this garage, but it's 19 feet long. This garage is 22 feet long. And yeah, I have to fold in the mirrors and everything just to get the stupid thing in here. So that is why, that's part of the reason why we are building this carport, because yeah, because there ain't really no room for it, and we want to keep this thing protected from the hail. Obviously there's a chance of hail later on tonight, so that's why it's sitting inside here tonight. But this thing's really expensive when it gets hailed on. That one not as expensive, it's paid off. Oh, by the way, while I'm looking at Sagamore Cycle Blog sticker, follow the link on the description here of this video. You can have one for your own, and proceeds go to Sagamore Cycle Blog, so I can do like dumb stuff, I guess. Okay, so let's talk about this carport real quick. Actually, yeah. Find my little gap here. All right, so there we go. But yeah, I wish there we go. That works. So yeah, talk about this carport here real quick. Yeah, I'm very glad it's done, or at least the gravel part is. Like I've said before, we talked to the place that builds it yesterday. We're looking like probably 2 weeks out as far as when we're going to be able to, 2 to 3 weeks before they get up here, because obviously it's got to be scheduled out and all that. Like I said, I already had to turn them down once, which kind of sucked, but the spring weather kind of played with us. I will say this though, I looked at it and didn't realize it, but we started digging. We started building the border on the 13th of April. We finished gravel packing on the 13th of May. So I'm pretty happy with that, considering that I haven't been really able to work on this every day. I've been dealing with weather. I lost the whole first weekend of May because I was still at drill, so lost all that. So, you know, you think about it, the fact I was able to get this done really in a month, and in reality, when I want to say working days, I'd say maybe 5 to 7 working days total is probably what's been spent on this. So, you know, that's kind of, so I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, we get this thing built up, We're kind of getting on the front end of the hail season. Hopefully we can get it up before we got too much. But like I said, we have a way to get this thing in the garage if we have to. But still, it sucks because, like I said, I don't want this car out here in the hail. But hail is just a way of life around here. And also, let's not forget about the motorcycle. That pretty much just sits out in the hail all the time. I will say this, that big one that did pound his pickup last year really good. It didn't hurt the bike too bad, and it was out in the middle of it too. So I think that cover did a fairly decent job of keeping the big dents off it and all that. So, but yeah, it's been a hell of a project for sure. I'm even looking back at that video, editing videos tonight, looking back at that video, that first video I did digging, and just kind of thinking going from that to what we have now, I think is pretty impressive for sure. And yeah, it was a lot of work, and yeah, it was a pain to get it done, and yes, I sacrificed some stuff that I wanted to do. There's a lot more fun things I wanted to do over this time than build that, but if you want to get something done, sometimes you just have to do it. And one of the big parts of, DIY that makes it kind of cost effective is the fact that, well, you're out there during the work, you're slaving away, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing to get it done, and you're probably saving some money because you're not renting a skid steer and none of that. You're doing most of it with hand tools. So I will say this though, there's a couple things I did rent. So for the sod, I did rent a sod cutter machine. I think that cost me, the day rate on it was $140 if I remember right, something like that. So we rented that for a day, and that was a must to cut that sod. I'm so glad I went with that because the little sod I cut before having it took forever, and so I'm so glad I rented that. That was totally worth renting. So we rented that to cut out the sod. And to get rid of the sod, I had a friend of mine from work that said he'd take all this, or pretty much all the sod. So I lucked out there. Otherwise, that would have probably been another $150 because I would have had to rent a dump trailer from the rental place to haul the sod to the landfill, because you can't just dump it in the landscape dumpster. You actually have to take it to the landfill. They still take it for free here, but that would have been extra added cost. Gravel, we spent about little under $1,100 for gravel. So gravel here, it's $40 for a cubic yard, because that's how they sell it by cubic yards. A truck of it's 12 cubic yards, and I got both trucks delivered for under $550, so it was about $1,100. So really it worked out, if you run the rates of $40 per yard and add in delivery, I probably paid an extra $80 for delivery, which to do that with like a pickup and running a dump trailer, I would have been hauling gravel all day back and forth. So fortunately we didn't have to, so we did that. Oh, another thing we did rent, I also rented a plate compactor, and it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a gasoline engine, it's got a big plate on it, and the thing just vibrates to beat all hell, and that's what you use to pack down your gravel good. A little bit better than just hand or foot packing it. So we rented one of those. I got it done within 4 hours. I got back right at the 4-hour deadline, so that was $60. So all in all, we probably, to get to this point, we have spent I'd say with tools and everything, I would guess about $1,500. The shed's going to be just over 5, so we're looking at probably about, $6,500 for this carport. So, so we didn't have to finance it or do none of that. That's the other advantage of DIYing is, well, like I said, I would figure I'm guessing to do what we did, to pay a place to do it, I'm guessing we could probably easily add, I'd say 5 to probably even 10 grand to this, just from that bit of work we did. So let's just say 5 grand. Let's just lowball it, 5 grand. So, and by the time I put gravel in and ran the equipment and bought what I needed to make this work, we probably spent more like $1,500. So we saved $3,500 just by DIY. And like I said, I'm doing low end. I'm guessing it'd probably be closer to 10 grand for this. So
we saved a whole lot more money. And like I said, it was a lot of extra work, a lot of manual labor, hand shovels, all that. But sometimes, like I said, you just kind of gotta do the work, and that's how it is. But anyways, I think that's enough for this project. One thing to be looking for is I will be doing a video when everything's all built, everything's all said and done, everything's all placed. I'm going to give you a little tour of the whole setup. Obviously, this is going to be a project that's going to continue over the years. We're going to get the carport up this year. Eventually, I'd like to get power in there. Eventually, I would like to fully enclose it, and just keep building on from there. But anyways, thank you for stopping by Sodak Motorcycle Blog. I do apologize this video wasn't a lot, but if you did like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. Please feel free to leave a comment. Also, don't forget, if you want to become a member of Sodak Motorcycle Blog, it is $2.99 a month. You get priority reply to comments, which means I will reply to your comments within 48 hours that you post. You don't have to wait for the monthly comments and beer. Also, you will get priority access to videos. So you'll probably notice right now there's a few more videos that are coming out that they're going to say members first. You get to see those videos when I upload them, so you could watch quite a bit ahead. Also, you don't get ads or any of that stuff. And also, you get a little Sodak Motorcycle Blog logo by your name when you do comment on my videos. But anyways, that's it for today. For the Sodak Motorcycle Blog, I am Clutch, and we'll see you later.